Well, fuck that. We just barely got into the next checkpoint, and there's a whole bunch of fuckers that are in our position. You, all of you, get the fuck out of my position. Oh, May, where do you think you're going? That's right, I'm sticking my pay on the payload. Soldier, yeah, you better get out of here. That's right. Oh yeah. And now that we just pretty much expelled everyone out of the area... Oh, wait. I think we've got customers coming. Oh yeah, in form of an angel. And yeah, you better get your ass out of here too. So, who am I shredding with? A giant centaur robot with 4 legs. And I just pretty much shredded Hanzo there too. Now that we have this area all tied up and secured, well, let's review Orisa, shall we? So this is Orisa, one of the newer tank heroes that came out a long time ago, about a couple months before Doomfist. She has 200 health and 200 armor, totaling up to 400. And let's talk about her main weapon, the fusion driver. It does about 11 damage each, and you can fire at a fast pace of 12 rounds a second. And it moves slow, which you will have to lean onto your shots. But you have a lot of ammo to come with that, 150 rounds. But it does have a cost, that you will have 2.5-second reload times within each reload that you do. Very useful because it has no damage drop off, so you can use it at medium to long ranges. One of her first abilities is an alt fire, which literally pulls your enemies in. And as said earlier, that's what it does. It's called Halt. Halt pulls enemies within about 7.5 meters away, closer together like in a big old group hug. But it does have a moderate cooldown at around 8 seconds, useful for grouping people all together for a nice little ultimate, or grouping them in for a nice little counterattack or when they're trying to get away. And yeah, it's pretty useful when it comes to offensive ways. But what about his other abilities, or her other abilities? What do they do? Have a whole bunch of fire coming your way? Why not put a shield on it just to make people safe? Her ability does such that, and it's called Protective Barrier. What Protective Barrier does, well, it's pretty much what I said. It deploys a leaning barrier that has around 900 health. It lasts for a good old 20 seconds until destroyed, or when the duration lasts. And it has an 8-second cooldown, so every 8 seconds you can constantly deploy a barrier just to protect your friends and teammates. And it's very useful at the defensive measures too, so all your people can be grouped in and you can't take any much damage. But a Bastion turret can easily shred that to pieces, so be mindful. Time to fortify your defenses in case you have an asshole that decides to be going at you at close range. And her last ability, I just gave you the name. Fortify reduces all your damage to 50% and you're immune to all kinds of stuns. And that includes ultimates, abilities like McCree's Flashbang or Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, just to name a few. And even his charge too, you'll be immune to that too, as it implies to a stun. So, it does have a price though, at around 10 seconds of cooldown. But it's very useful if you're in a close range desperate attack, or that a whole bunch of enemies are coming your way and you pretty much have nothing left to lose for. Her last ability, well, it relies on your teammates. It doesn't do anything when it comes to kills, unlike some, but it's very useful nonetheless. It's called Supercharger. Supercharger, you deploy a device that increases your weapon damage by 50% for within 25 meters, and that includes your allies too. It lasts for a good old 15 seconds, and the drum, or the device, has a good 200 health, so around the same type as a hero. It's really incredibly useful when it comes to pushing attacks, or if you're taking a last stand. And with all that taken care of, you'll take down your opponents more easier than nothing. So with that on the side, let's see how we can play as Orisa. With Orisa, she's a little bit different to the tank heroes. She's more of those people that if she's in a group, she's gonna be more efficient. And pretty much you have to play like that. Use the hold ability when enemies are trying to do ultimates or when they're trying to put in a charge. They'll all be grouped in together and your friends can easily finish them off with their own ultimates instead. It can help cancel other ultimates as well. Use Fortify when it comes to emergencies as said earlier, such as on ultimates, Reinhardt charges, or anyone that decides to go in and give you a nice smooch at close range. Deploy your protective barriers up front to cover your teammates and objectives, especially when it comes to like the payload. And deploy the supercharger behind corners or behind teammates so it won't be destroyed. Or just simply use the barrier, since it has a nice amount of health, unless you have a bastion there. So I hope all those tips would help you, and without further ado, let's play as Orisa. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And be sure to look at my Facebook page down below. And we're down to 2 more heroes. Which one will be first? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. And I do have a nice announcement. I've finally been able to acquire Sony Vegas. And how I got it, well, I'll put it in the description down below. Naughty naughty. Until then, GalacticStorm saying, keep charging, bitches.